Let's be honest. We all have that one folder on our computer that is a complete and total mess. Well, today we're going to see how a little bit of Python can basically turn you into a digital superhero, transforming all that chaos into perfect order with just a few lines of code. Let's dive in. I mean, just think about your downloads folder. Am I right? It's basically the digital junk drawer of your computer. You've got old installers, random PDFs, screenshots, and probably about 15 files all named untitled. It feels overwhelming. But what if I told you there's a much, much better way? Yep, that's right. With Python, you have this incredible power to automate, to organize, and to take complete control of that digital mess. And you know the best part? It's actually way simpler than you might think. So, the key to unlocking all this power is a special tool that comes built right into Python. It's called the OS module, and you can think of it as your direct line, your special connection to your computer's operating system. Think of the OS module like a universal translator. It lets your Python script speak the language of your computer's files and folders. It doesn't matter if you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux, the OS module knows how to talk to all of them. So why is this OS module such a big deal? Well, first off, it's platform independent, which means the code you write on your Mac will work on your friend's Windows PC. No sweat. Second, it's built in. There is nothing to install. It's just there, ready to go. And third, it is an incredibly powerful toolkit that lets you do pretty much anything you can imagine with files and folders. Okay, so before we start moving things around and, changing everything, we need to get our bearings. The very first step is to figure out how to see where we are and what's around us inside the file system. And to do that, we first need to understand a concept called the current working directory, or CWD for short. The easiest way to think about this is like the "you are here" marker on a mall map. It's the default folder your script is sitting in right now. And how do you find out where that "you are here" marker is? Simple. You just ask Python. The command is os.getCurrentWorkingDirectory, which basically means get current working directory. This little function is your absolute starting point for navigating anywhere. When you run that command, Python is going to give you back a string of text, something that looks like this. We call this a path, and it's the exact unique address of your script's location on your computer. Okay, so you know where you are. Now, what's in the room with you? You've got two main ways to check. os.listdir is like taking a quick peek inside a folder. It just gives you a simple list of all the names. But if you need the full story, os.scandir is your tool. It's like using a magnifying glass. It gives you all the details, like file size, file type, and believe it or not, it's actually faster if you're going to need that extra info anyway. All right, enough looking around. Now that we can see what's there, it's time to actually start making changes. We're about to go from being a passive observer to being an active architect of our file system. This is where the fun begins. So, you need to create a new folder? os.mkdir is your go-to. It's simple, it makes one new folder, but keep in mind its parent folder has to exist already. Now, what if you need to create a whole nested structure, like a folder for projects, then one for 2024, then one for Q4? That's when you use os.makedirs. It's smart enough to build the whole path for you. And a little pro tip, to avoid errors, you can add exist_ok = true to that command, and your script won't crash if the folder's already there. Now hold on, a quick but really, really important warning. The power to create also gives you the power to delete. And when you're working with files in Python, there is no undo button. There is no recycle bin. When it's gone, it is gone. Data loss is permanent. So please, always double-check your code before you run any kind of deletion command. Okay, with that important caution in mind, let's see how these commands can work together safely. Imagine a file's journey. First, you might have a file called original.txt. You can use os.rename it to give it a much better name. Then, you can use os.mkdir to create a nice new home for it. And finally, with a little help from a related module called Shutil, you can use shutil.moveit to place that file right into its new destination folder. See? Simple, powerful, and step-by-step. So these individual commands are pretty cool on their own, but their true power, their real magic, is unleashed when you start combining them to automate tasks in the real world. Let's look at a couple of powerful examples. First up, a true classic for anyone who manages a computer, an automated backup script. We all know that manually copying important files is boring, it's tedious, and it's really easy to forget to do.
But imagine a script using the OS module that can automatically find every file you want to save. It could even be smart enough to only grab the files that have changed since the last backup. Then it uses Shutil to copy them all to a safe backup drive. You schedule this to run every night, and bam, you've just automated a critical task and saved yourself from potential data loss.
All right, here's another one, especially for the developers out there. Applications can generate absolutely massive log files, and trying to find one single error message in there, it can feel like finding a needle in a digital haystack. Well, a Python script can be your detective. It can use the OS module to find and open every single log file, scan through millions of lines looking for keywords like error or warning, and then report back to you with only the important stuff. It could even send you an email alert. This turns what could be hours of manual searching into a job that takes just a few seconds. Okay, so we've seen the tools, we've seen the possibilities. Now it's your turn. I'm going to give you a challenge that puts everything we've just learned into practice. Here is your mission, should you choose to accept it. Write a script to finally clean up that messy downloads folder. Step 1. Scan the folder and figure out all the different file types you have, like .text and .pdf. Step 2. Create new folders for each one of those types. And Step 3. Move each file into its new, perfectly organized home. You can do this. You have all the tools you need. So there you have it. You now have the fundamental tools to bring order to any digital chaos. The power to create, to rename, to move, and to organize is literally at your fingertips. So the only question left is, what are you going to organize first?